we got more news on Simone Biles last night in the middle of the night. If you don't know, she now at this point has withdrawn from the all around program at the Olympics. Yesterday, she removed herself from the group round, and she basically cited mental health as the reason why she pulled herself out. And this is all very understandable when you hear Simone Biles speak and you think about what she is doing in Tokyo at the Olympics as the clear-cut favorite for the U.S. Women's gymnastics team. Let's hear from Simone Biles on why she is feeling the way she's feeling.
Today has been really stressful. We had a workout this morning. It went okay, and then just that 5.5-hour wait or something, I was just like shaking, could barely nap. I've just never felt like this going into a competition before, and I tried to go out here and have fun and warm up in the back, went a little bit better, but then once I came out here, I was like, no, mental is not there, so I just need to let the girls do it and focus on myself.
Okay, the way she speaks too, so maturely, so eloquently, obviously. And I just want to read this statement from the USA Gymnastics team. After further medical evaluation, Simone Biles has withdrawn from the final individual all-around competition at the Tokyo Olympic Games in order to focus on her mental health. Simone will continue to be evaluated daily to determine whether or not to participate in next week's individual event finals. Jade Carey, who had the 9th highest score in qualifications, will participate in her place in the all-around. We wholeheartedly support Simone's decision and applaud her bravery in prioritizing her well-being. Her courage shows yet again why she is a role model for so many. And Jay, I think that is probably the key word there, a role model for so many. Look, when you first hear this news, yesterday we were on the air when we first heard the news of Simone Biles pulling out, citing her mental health. At first we weren't sure, is it an injury, is it mental health, whatever it is. I think our initial reaction, I remember your face was like a gasp almost, because of course you're disappointed. I mean, I could never dream of doing half the things Simone Biles does. And she obviously is the clear-cut favorite on that women's gymnastics team in almost every every category. She is breaking all kinds of history and everything else in Tokyo, or we had assumed she was going to. But she's also flipping in the air, mounting off vaults, landing from numerous feet. She is doing extremely dangerous things, and she cited her vault from the day before, where she didn't quite feel like herself. And if you watch the video, you can tell she doesn't look like herself. She says she lost track when she was in the air. I'm sorry, if you are losing track of where you are in the air, I think it's a good time to sit down and refocus on how you are feeling as an individual. So I agree. I applaud her. This is a moment in time where you got to figure out if you're okay to be flipping around every which way across the country, where they are worried about far greater things even than just gymnastics over there, with COVID numbers going up all around her and trying to stay safe. So Simone Biles, feel better, and I hope you feel better quickly.
Few things with Simone Biles in this story. For one, when we heard the sound from Simone Biles, that you talked about the maturity in her voice, more so the confidence and how matter-of-fact she was. This is a confident young woman at the age of 24 who knows who she is, who knows the consequences to her decisions, understands keenly what's at stake, and yet still very matter-of-factly, with confidence and decisiveness, said, this is what's best in this moment for me, but this is what's getting lost. Not just for her and her mental health, but the well-being of her team. And that takes the selflessness and charisma and compassion of only somebody like her in that stage and in that moment, understanding I'm going to get criticized, especially by those who don't understand the situation. Because strategy was involved here too. Simone said, because I'm not Simone Biles in this rare moment where I'm not delivering, I'm actually hurting my team. It'd be one thing, as Simone said, in an individual to just not be able to take care of business, then I deprive myself of a possible medal. If I don't do it here, the team loses out on a chance for a medal. That's selflessness. That part should be celebrated because it was strategy, and it ultimately led them to getting a silver medal, what they were trying to gun for. And maybe they wouldn't have achieved that, as crazy as it sounds to say, if Simone actually did move forward with it. So all that aside, let's also put this into perspective, because people refuse to do that with sport. Simone Biles, more importantly than being one of the most decorated Olympians and Americans in sport ever, she's a survivor. She's a survivor of sexual abuse. So nothing that anybody sits here and tries to attack her on for, oh, she didn't deliver in this moment, whatever. She knows, because she survived way worse, that criticism when people say, you're not a real American, you're not representing our country, You think that's going to hurt somebody like that who has been through and stood on top in the end? And so to me, I think we should celebrate who she is